Hallo, das ist Fabian und ihr schaut die Hip-Hop-Gamer-Show.
Yo, you heard that, son? And we both got glasses on, son. It's crazy. I got worldwide international status right now. Thank you so much, Fabe, man. I appreciate that. Yo, Fabe, man, I'm going to tell you right now, son. This is something that I think you guys did that I haven't seen no other PlayStation Move game work this well. I just finished playing Virtua Tennis 4, right? With the PlayStation Move in 3D. Hence the 3D glasses. Now, let me tell you something. Would you believe that the most important part of this game is actually your footwork? Like your actual, my bad, you good? The actual footwork in this game is actually what matters the most in terms of getting the gameplay down pat. Like, how did you make this game like much more like a simulation as opposed to a lot of arcadey tennis games that has coming out, you know, in the past or other platforms?
Well, we always had 3D graphics, but now we've got like the real 3D, so we can have a 3D racket, and that basically means you have a real racket in your hands. It's not like 2D and flat. So if you do a forehand, you do this, and if you do a backhand, you do this spin, and it actually works. So you've probably seen when your opponent is serving, you can stand there and move your racket 3D, and it actually recognizes what you do, what kind of spin you give it. And that just adds that additional dimension, the extra dimension. And we heard so many publishers and developers saying, hey, this series finally takes the step to the next dimension. They never did. Now it's full 3D, and it works really well for a few of the games, especially with tennis where you have a 3D racket or a 3D tool you're using.
Yeah. Now, you said with this game you could also use the navigational controller. So, for the more advanced players, is there anything else that the navigational controller brings besides just moving your character left or right? Is there anything else that the navigational controller brings to add more to the gameplay?
Well, it is mainly for moving your character around, and you'd be surprised how much more difficult the game actually is if you move your character around and at the same time you got to time all the stuff like the top spin. But that's like because the series, like we've got the 10th anniversary this year for Virtua Tennis, so it's been around for a long time, and we've got a lot of experts out there who grew up with that series, played it in the arcade, played it on Dreamcast, then it was like on PlayStation 2, it was a launch title on PlayStation 3, so we've got a lot of fans, and we've got to make sure that those fans get a real challenge. And they're playing tournaments, they're playing online tournaments, they're playing these crazy tournaments in the arcades in Japan. So you've got to make sure that you can still play it with a joypad, joystick, and with an additional controller just to move the player around, because if it gets too easy, they're the first ones who burn down our office.
Oh, that's real talk right there. I love talking to Fabian. He knows his stuff, man. Now, let me ask you this, right? This is something that's very interesting to me, honestly. Like, being able to play, you know, two-player and stuff like that, like, you know, having, like, couples, like, tennis and stuff like that, how will that, you know, be able to work with the two move controllers, considering, like, you know, it's so real that you got to take these wide swings and stuff like that. How do you make that work when there's two players, you know, right there?
It's the same as you probably noticed with Wii games. You need a lot of space.
Yeah.
And so if you've got a really small apartment, and most of the people in New York, they've got these really small apartments, and then you always hit the other one in the eye with that controller. It's really painful. So probably we have a little sticker on the front of the pack saying, doesn't work in a small New York City apartment. So if you live in Manhattan, don't buy this game if you have friends.
Yo, that's classic. No doubt, but seriously, the game is that real where it's not like you do this and it hits. You gotta bow. And the thing that amazed me the most is how, like, if the ball is coming this way, obviously you're gonna hit it this way. But sometimes since you're in this act of motion and the ball is coming this way, you can't just like this. You gotta turn and really position yourself. It's about positioning in tennis, and now it's about positioning right here at home in the actual video game. And that to me is, I think, is an amazing accomplishment that you guys was able to pull off. Now, the addition of 3D, how does 3D helps with the gameplay of the game?
That's something I mentioned earlier. It makes the racket 3D, so it's no longer like a pure simulation of some 2D object hits another 2D object at some point, and then we calculate. It's you. It's like basically your wrist controlling the game, and that's the new thing about it, which makes it more realistic. And so timing becomes more important. In the past, it was just press the button at the right time, but now it's like more move the racket at the right time and give the ball the right spin. And you just tried it, and it actually works quite well, especially if you keep in mind that this is like a very early demo. We're just having this like, hey, give it a try, see that it's fun and it's 3D and it's smooth.
Now, what's some of the special moves that, like, we can see in this game? Like, I give you an example. I see a lot of tennis players do like trick shots and do all this like special like zip line type of hits and stuff like that. is all of these like functions going to be enabled like in the final game once it's released, or is it just simple hit back and forth?
I mean, obviously you've got like all these smashes and all the classic moves you're expecting. That's obviously, to be honest, really difficult to get into the game. But what you can do, and what we're doing, is like give players some individual moves and individual skills. So you've got Federer, and you've got Nadal, and you've got all the original players in there, Venus Williams. And from time to time, depending on how you stand and about your timing, they pull off one of their special signature moves. So
word?
Yeah, you need signature moves.
Crazy.
Right? Yeah.
That's now because that actually puts you more into the game because the characters represent what they do in real life, and you do it on emotion, so feel like you're doing it. This is crazy. Now, a lot of times, especially in sports games, people always like want something special in terms of single player. Like, you want to win Wimbledon and stuff like that. Is there any kind of special like single player mode that actually has like some sort of, I wouldn't say a storyline, but I want to get the Wimbledon Cup at the end. Is there any type of special presentation that you guys added to the game to give us that like value of winning the trophy?
Yeah, Virtua Tennis had a world tour mode for a while now. So we're reworking this at the moment, and we're ready to show that soon. So you create a player, and then you start as a rookie. You train him. You gain like more points. It's a little RPG. You get new equipment. You do all that stuff. Some of the mini games you remember from the old Virtua Tennis games. You're doing that stuff. Then you challenge an opponent, and you go up in the world rankings. So you've got that full mode in there. If you don't have enough time, you just play a single tournament or a single set or a single game. You can like configure that as much as you want. You play single, double. So that's all in there. Everything you expect from a tennis game.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, PlayStation Move is really impressing me, but I want to ask you this. Like, mini games, like, is there any like type of special mini games that you guys added just to add more fun to just playing tennis, for Virtua Tennis 4?
Well, if you played the other Virtua Tennis games, you know that our Japanese developers always have really crazy ideas. The crocodile, all that stuff. So we've not announced any of that, unfortunately, but I'm pretty much looking forward to show you some of those once we're ready to reveal some of the new mini games. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, I had a pretty cool idea. Something I was thinking about. Certain games you could use like 2 move controllers. Now I know tennis you only got 1 racket, but I had an idea for a mini game as if you had 2 rackets. Because I've seen tricks where they'll dribble the balls or like throw stuff up and just work out both arms like a little workout. Is that something that you guys would probably think about implementing just so you could use both move controllers on Virtua Tennis?
We're not looking, unfortunately, into using both of the controllers, but what you just said, doing these things, that's something that could be in the game, maybe, who knows. We're not on camera, right? We're not on camera. We're wearing these glasses. We're invisible, right?
Yeah,
that's
we're invisible.
Okay. He scares me a little bit. Is that a camera? No, it's not, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, good.
No. I'm loving it right now, man. I want to say congratulations on Virtua Tennis 4. The ambition for this game is amazing. Now, I want to ask you a question. Like, seriously, Virtua Tennis is a multi-platform, like, title to my knowledge. So, I mean, it's been, multi-platform on other, platforms. So, I'm not sure if it's going to hit the 360. But let me ask you this. From your experience with the PlayStation Move, could Virtua Tennis 4 be done on a Kinect as accurate as it is on the Move right now?
I mean, that's probably something the developers have to answer, but I'm a big fan of both Kinect and Move. And you probably played Sonic Free Riders earlier today. Yeah, and Kinect works pretty well. So, I think technically it's not a problem. At the moment, it's a PS3 game only, but I think you can get that precision from Kinect, because Kinect is pretty amazing and way more precise than you could probably think when watching a movie. Yeah, so, That would be possible, just technically, yeah.
All right, now, there's something that you just said that's very interesting. But Virtua Tennis, considering that this franchise has been on other systems besides PlayStation, why did you guys decide to go exclusive to the PS3 now? Is it only because of the Move, or is it because of the combination of Move and 3D and the overall experience?
Yeah, that's what you just said. It was really successful on PlayStation 3 when it was a launch title, and at that time it was only out on PlayStation 3. We said it feels really good, this added depth and like the third dimension, and that's why the team created and developed that version. And it just works so well. And it always sounds a bit weird if a PR guy says, hey, this works so well, but you tried it yourself. And so the team had really fun creating it, and that's why it's on PlayStation 3 at the moment, because we've got 3D, we've got Move, you've got the racket in your hand, and it works really well.
Now, a demo, please. Are you guys going to release a demo for this game before it releases next year?
It would make sense, and I hope
Yes,
so.
it would.
But obviously, as you know, like a lot of things that make sense never happen. I'm pretty confident there will be one. Yeah, because if you look at the fact that we're still early in development, but the game already plays and feels good, I mean, that would work as a demo when we just play.
Yeah, that right there will work as a demo, yeah.
So then you got to speak like to the players in there because all the licensing, official players. But
Yeah.
I'm confident. That's just my personal opinion that you've got a chance to check out the game before it actually launches and play a demo because it works well, and that's the best thing to promote a game is putting out a playable demo because you can't cheat with a demo. It's just,
And
you get a
especially-
feeling for the game.
Yeah, and especially with the Move controller, people want to see more of what the Move can do since it's new, to the PS3. So the more demos, the more anything, the better because they get a chance to test it out. And a game like this with the Venus Williams and all these like major branded people gonna want to see that. So hopefully we get a demo out soon on Virtua Tennis 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Move. Make sure you get it. The joint is crazy. Any shout outs you want to make, man?
Any illegal announcements I want to make? What was that?
Yeah, illegal announcements. We like that. I'm from the hood, Brooklyn.
So we're still not on camera, right? This colleague over there, his name is Dan. Don't put the camera on him. So he told you all this stuff about Sonic Adventure earlier. Lies. It's all lies.
Oh.
Yeah, there is no new Sonic Adventure, and he won't probably work for Sega any longer because he said that you ruined his career. He was a really good guy. We really liked him. But you basically forced him to announce a few internal projects, and that's not going to happen to me. I keep that belt until the interview goes live, and if there's anything in there that causes trouble for me, you never get that belt back. Bye.
Yeah! Holla at your boy, Hip Hop Gamer, pixelenemy.com, hiphopgamershow.com, Sega for life, and it's gangster. Peace.